Have you ever had a goal and got super motivated into it and really wanted to achieve, but within a week, that interest is completely gone? Have you ever really wanted to lose weight and been super motivated in the gym with your diet to lose those pounds, and then a couple weeks later, that interest is completely gone? Or really wanting to eat healthy and get on a new diet, but after a couple weeks, you're back to your normal routine? Or really want to start saving and making money, but by the end of the month, you've made no progress? Or quitting a bad habit, sticking with it for a few days, but then finding yourself relapsing time and time again? Most people break their New Year's resolution within 17 days. And they all start the next year thinking this year will be different, just to do the same thing again. Because usually when we're making a goal, we're thinking about how great the end result would be. How great it would be to look fit and look good and feel light on my feet. How great it would be to have some extra money in the bank. How great it would be to quit that habit that's been holding me back for so long. But the thing is, these thoughts and motivations don't work. And that's because as humans, fear and negative emotions are so much stronger than positive ones. The problem when we set goals the normal way is we lean into the positive emotions. How great it would be to make $100,000 this year. How great it would be to lose an extra 20 pounds. And this can get us excited for a period of time. But what happens over time is we realize it's actually pretty hard. It's a lot of work to build upon day after day. We get distracted. There's tons of stuff going on in life, and it's pretty easy to pull yourself away if you aren't constantly reminding yourself. Motivation dies out over time too. Motivation is like a bucket, and it can only get us so far. Over time, as you draw into your motivation, you can't expect to just wake up with the same motivation every day because it's something that has to build. It's not something you can keep with you all the time. So motivation eventually dies out. So if motivation can only get us so far, good motivation, what we realize is that fear and pain are much more powerful motivators. Instead of thinking how great it would be to make $100,000, you can think about the pain of being poor, the pain of staying overweight your whole life. This is why politicians constantly angle into fear-based emotions. Fear and pain are so much more powerful emotions than positive emotions like hope and pleasure. They drive voters to the polls. When I work within marketing for my company, it's something I know as well. Most marketing departments know this and use this to some degree. You don't want to stay in that corporate job. You don't want to live with back pain. You don't want to cook dinner tonight. You can do this with your goal. And you can see how all these advertisements and slogans are used to psychologically motivate you. But you can use this same principle and do this with your own goals to make it work on yourself in what we call reverse goal setting. And you have to make that pain strong in your mind. But here's the other thing. While fear is a stronger motivator, motivation and willpower will only get you so far. You can't count on motivation to be there to get you up every day to go to the gym. You can't count on your saving habits to convince you to hold back from purchasing things every single time. Motivation is a bucket, and it comes and goes and gets distracted and directed onto other things. If you want to hit a goal, you just have to stay motivated long enough for it to turn into a habit. Commitment is so much more powerful than motivation. Research shows us it takes about 66 days to form a habit, and around 20 days is when you hit that messy middle. It's the part where most people quit. That's why using fear-based motivation is so important to get you through it. Once something becomes a habit, you don't even think twice. Brushing your teeth in the morning, making a cup of coffee with breakfast. You just have to get there first. Now, take a goal like losing 20 pounds. Again, fear-based motivation is going to be the strongest thing. Instead of thinking about the positive emotions of the goal at the end, of how great you'll feel when you lose 20 pounds, thinking about the negative emotions of staying fat, of staying overweight your whole life, how that would suck and how limiting that would be and would hold you back from things that you really want. By channeling in that fear, you can build up much stronger elements of motivation, and you can use that motivation to get you closer to that finish line of making things like going to the gym and following a diet instead of being a motivating factor every single day to just becoming an automatic habit. Use the fear-based emotions to get you to the point where that becomes a habit. If you want to save an extra $15,000 this year, think about how nice it's going to be to have 15 grand. Think about the fear, how you don't want to live in poverty, all the negatives of living without a safety net or spare change to spend on something that you want, and how you aren't able to do the things you want in life, how you won't be able to do the big things that you want if you don't save up for them. You can channel into that fear to get in the practice of daily saving until daily saving becomes the automatic thing to do, the habit that you've built in. And keep the idea of the number of days you need to reach in the back of your mind. 66 days to form a habit. If you keep that number of days in your mind, all you have to do is keep the motivation there, counting down the days until you get to 66, and then you know that you formed a strong habit in your mind. These principles have been so effective to me in helping me achieve my goals. If this helped you, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next video.